It's Thursday, and we're going to return to some of our content lessons today. Today's activity is called Increasing the Odds. Yes, you have some more notes to take. Not quite as short as Tuesdays, but keeping it to the point. So make sure you fill in the topic and the essential question on page 105 of your interactive notebook. Make sure you pause the video now so that you have time to record that information. Today's focus, we're going to start with 2 question prompts for you to consider. I'll pause so you can pause the video, think about it before you hear my voice continue on. So the first thing is to take you back for a moment to some things that we've already been discussing. What is the most important task of every organism? I mean every one of them. So I want you to think about it. If you need to look at your notes, consult your resources, you're welcome to do that. One of the most important tasks of every organism, outside of performing necessary life functions, they must continue the species. They must perpetuate the species. They must reproduce, is what that means. So they must create more of their kind in order for that species to continue to exist. If they stop reproducing, that species ceases to exist on our planet. So the second question I want you to consider, do all organisms use the same behaviors to reproduce? Again, think about that for a second. If you need to consult a resource, you are welcome to. The answer to that is no. Plants and animals behave differently when it comes to increasing the likelihood of successful reproduction and survival of those offspring. And so we're going to take some time today to start looking at some of those reproductive behaviors. This is by no means all reproductive behaviors, but these examples are in alignment with sexual reproduction. And we'll talk more about asexual versus sexual reproduction later on, but understanding that right now we're focusing on the combination of a sperm and an egg cell. I'm going to show you some videos and some pictures of different reproductive behaviors. So looking at birds and plants is where our biggest focus is. It's not May, so I'm not going to talk about humans in any of these lessons. We're focusing on other animals, plants as well. I am going to include the links, you'll see that here in just a second in the slides. So when you go to our website and you have today's lesson up in front of you, as you're clicking through the slides, you'll be able to see those links, click on those active hyperlinks so that if you would like to rewatch the videos, you are welcome to, or you can back up this video and watch them again as many times as you need to. So the first one, there are 2 videos I'm going to show you on this first behavior. The first behavior is nest building. So if you're already picturing in your mind what you think a bird nest looks like, great. But I'm going to show you 2 of them. Oh, sorry, thought I had all my stuff in order here. All right, so here is the first nest building video. 14 seconds long, keeping it short here. So while you're watching these, please make sure you're keeping in mind, how does this behavior likely increase the odds of successful reproduction? Here is the second one. All right, so in just a moment, make sure you pause the video. I want you to record on your student document that's called Increasing the Odds. You'll find copies of that on Google Classroom, our Team 1. Please make sure you're using the one from our team Google Classroom, because otherwise, if you're clicking on the ones on the website, it's going to say you need permission to access this document. That's not going to be helpful for you in submitting your work. So go back to Google Classroom, make sure you open it there. That way you can click submit when you're done. Yay! So how does this behavior likely increase the odds of reproduction? Make sure you record your thoughts. So the next one has to do with herding animals. Pay close attention. Again, it's the same prompt. Pay close attention to what is happening with these animals and why they would possibly be doing this. Notice this arrangement. Offspring are key here. All right, so again, make sure you've recorded your thoughts on your form. Pause the video if you need to. Number 3 is bird vocalizations. I have 3 videos I'm going to share with you on this one. So 3 examples. How would this support the survival of that species with successful reproduction? And as I switch to the next one, what purpose do these vocalizations provide for these birds? I know this is something that seems, easy to answer because it is. Please don't overthink this question. And the last one I'm going to show you on bird vocalizations. Okay, I'm going to play the beginning of that one again because if you're anything like I am, for some reason, turkey gobbles make me smile and giggle. All right, again, please record your observations, your reasonings, your thoughts on your document. The next one, we're looking at bird plumage and feathers. So what role does this play? How does it help for successful reproduction? And if you've ever watched videos of male peacocks, they have this feather shaking dance that they do as well during these mating rituals. So pause the video again as long as you need. Please record your thoughts. All right, pollination. So I have a couple of videos to share with you on pollination. how does this help with reproduction in plants? So this one is a hummingbird that has its very long beak in the flower there. And the last one, a bee with flowers as well. Okay, pause the video as long as you need. Record your thoughts. All right, squirrels and pine cones. So continuing on this theme here, I have two pictures to the right. So we all know that squirrels hide away. Sometimes they're acorns. You see the nut references with squirrels. In this case, we're looking at a pine cone. So the squirrel buries an uneaten pine cone and then doesn't come back for it. It germinates and turns into a new sapling. So how did this squirrel play a part in successful reproduction here? Again, pause the video as long as you need. All right, birds. All right, so we're going to look at birds and their involvement as well. So see two pictures here to the right. Here's a bird eating seeds from a plant seeds from a feeder. And birds can be rather messy. So not all of those seeds end up getting digested. And here's what happens when that bird then defecates, where it has droppings on the ground. And then all of a sudden here we have a new growth. How is that a factor as well? I do have 5 vocabulary terms for you that are directly connected. Please make sure these end up on your notes page. Pause the video so that you have time to do that before I move on. Oh goodness, I thought I had transitions put on here. Well, you had questions that you were to be answering as conclusion questions. Please go back and answer these without my answers. I would appreciate that. Really what we're looking at here, and I'm going to talk about these answers since they're on the screen and I'm about out of my 15 minutes for my recording. When we're talking about animals and how they are working to increase their odds for reproduction, looking at birds building nests, they build them in locations where predators are not as easily able to go after the eggs or to eat their young. When animals are herding, notice that the young was in the middle. That way the adults that are much bigger, more powerful, more skilled are able to protect them and ward off any predators. And then the birds that we're singing, well, how else do you attract that quality mate if you're a bird? Here are examples of behaviors that were demonstrated for you to reference back from the videos. Specialized features that plants have, so those brightly colored petals that attract pollinators, nectar that's further down in the flower, so like with the hummingbird, when that hummingbird stuck its beak into the flower, it was able to collect some of those pollen spores so that it could be transferred to the next flower. And organisms have different methods because they need to be able to survive in their environment. Their environment dictates that. All right, guys, have a great day.